All praise to the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Enough respect to you brothers out there teaching the truth all over the earth. Today's lesson is going to be entitled, The Kingdom of Heaven is More Than Just Sex. And the reason why I'm going into this quick lesson is basically, just a few things that I feel like need to be brought out. Sometimes when I'm watching videos and whatnot, and reading comments, or either on the live streams or whatever it is, sometimes you see comments that brothers make, or you just sometimes the spirit just be on you to go into different topics. And I really just wanted to say that I see a lot of brothers out there. It seems like the big thing that's being discussed a lot, or that you hear a lot being thrown around whenever the kingdom of heaven comes up, brothers are quick to always think about how many women you're gonna have, how much sex you're gonna have. That's what's being brought up the most, to the point that when outsiders, people that are not familiar with the truth, when they see us, however they see us, they see the videos, that's a thing that seems like the younger brothers in general always seem to just keep throwing that out there. I saw on the comment board one guy, I don't even remember who it was, so let this be to who it's for. I saw a brother made a comment that said, yeah, we're gonna be busting a lot of nuts in the kingdom, and that just seemed like that's the prevalent thing that guys think about. And the kingdom of heaven is going to be about way more than about sex. How many women you can smash, how many wives you're going to have. And I don't want to take that away from, the importance of in the kingdom to repopulate the tribes of Israel. Of course, that's a major thing. Don't get it twisted. But I think a lot of people think that, a lot of brothers think that you're going to feel the same way that you feel now in your fleshly state. You think you're going to feel that same way when the kingdom of heaven comes. And you don't know that, because these bodies are going to change. Of course, it's part of our job, like I said, to repopulate the kingdom. And I don't want to, take away from that. But there's way more to the kingdom of heaven than just, and I'm going to say it again, and whoever out there get offended, if it be women watching or older people, whatever, just disregard. But for the younger brothers, it's more to the kingdom of heaven than how many nuts you can bust. Okay? It's way more to life. There's way more to the kingdom of heaven than just that. Now I'm going to read the scripture here. We start out in Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. And I'm reading it. It says, For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Right? This is a spiritual thing. Don't get me wrong. We are, like I said, we're going to be in the kingdom, and we're going to have many wives. We're going to have many children. Yeah. But there's way more other ththings that you should be thinking about. You should be concerned about more than it's like the main thing you think about. It's all these women you're going to have. You're going to have to be a wise ruler in order to even get to that part. You got to have to be wise in the scriptures, wise in the truth, before you even get to the kingdom of heaven. There's many things here on the earth we still got to worry about yet. The end is not yet, like the scriptures say. Romans 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of the anointed, and it says Christ, but anointed is another word for Christ. Now if any man have not the spirit of the anointed, he is none of his. Right? Your mind should be on the high things more. And just to bring it to that level, it's tiring when you see that. That's the main thing guys worried about. Here it is. When Yahawah come and you're in his presence, and I'm gonna take it back to what one of the brothers said in the Ancient of Days camp out in Los Angeles. I think it was Brother Barack that said this. When you're in the presence of Yahawah, which people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, when you're in the presence of Yahawah, he's gonna know everything that you ever did. He's gonna know all about you, all the sins you committed, all the acts you did here on the earth, if you make it and you're one of the elect, He's gonna know about when you went out and taught the truth, you know. And when I think about it my own self, I think about, if Lord willing, I'm fortunate enough or I'm of the elect and I make it, you may have long periods of time where you just sit and you just talk with Yahawashi. You just ask him any question you want to ask. There's so many more things in the kingdom that you can look forward to other than just women. That's the least of your worries is women. And I know that brothers bring that out a lot. We talk about the women of other nations and the Israelite women. Sure, that's gonna be a benefit of the kingdom. But I'm gonna read a few scriptures and we're gonna get into it a little bit. There's way more other things that you could be concerned about when the kingdom comes. That's playtime, man. Sexual adventures, that's playtime. Don't you want to know about, ask Yahawashi any questions? Don't you want to talk to him? Just sit and just admire him. He's gonna be the most famous person that ever lived, man. Yahawashi be walking through wherever or floating or however it is. Everybody's gonna want to talk to him. Everybody's gonna want to look at him and admire him. And even on down to his men. When you walk somewhere, you're gonna have that glow. You're gonna be royalty. You're not gonna be walking around just grabbing up women, just having sex. I mean, I'm saying it in a funny way, but I'm gonna say it again. There's more to the kingdom of heaven other than just sex. And let's just read some scriptures. I don't want to ramble too much. Let's go to 2nd Esdras real quick here. And I don't want to make this a long lesson, And I'm using this format with the webcam because, I'm away from my computer, I'm traveling, I'm away from my computer, and I'm not able to do the on-screen lessons. But I actually kind of like this format, and I may use it a little more because I don't have to set up the camera or anything. All I do is just turn on the laptop and bam. I don't know why they do this sooner. 2nd Esdras. I'm going to read chapter 7 and verse 16. Starting at 16, it says, and this is a conversation where Esdras was having with the Most High, or with the angel of the Lord. And the angel asked him, or the Most High asked, why hast thou not considered in thy mind that this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Right. They that are of the earth do mind the things of the earth. We're thinking about earthly things because we're down here. But the angel asked, why don't you think about the things that's coming other than that which is now? Looking forward to the kingdom, sure. But I know older brothers, that's been in the truth longer than, than the younger brothers, we have a tendency, like the more you grow, the more you'll start to meditate and ponder on the things that's coming, like my own self. I think about, when I think about the kingdom, and it's been said, and I can't tell you in the scriptures where it's been said, but it's just something that that hadn't been told. But you're going to have full mental capacity. Other than just having a small percentage of your brain, you're going to have 100% of your brain power. You're not going to be like a regular human being. You're going to be like a super human being. These bodies are going to be changed. You're not going to be susceptible to sickness and weakness and like you are now. These bodies that we have now, they're wore out. But if you think ahead to the kingdom, you're going to be on a higher intelligence plane, a higher can't think of the word, a higher understanding than you are now. You're going to understand things that you didn't understand then so clearly. You think you're going to, you're going to understand even sex even better. But while I'm saying that I'm going to read the scripture again. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide, but they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that hath understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For the Most High hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. But his law have they despised and denied his covenants. In his statutes have they not been faithful and have not performed his works. And therefore Esdras for the empty are the empty things, and for the full are the full things. And that's what we are now. We're thinking about the high things, you know, so much more than that. Yeah, sure, sex has its place in the kingdom, but it's about more than that, because there's this dirty underbelly of the truth where, and I'm not saying brothers are wicked, you know, but you got to get out of your flesh. You're thinking about, again, how many women you gonna be with in the kingdom, how much sex you gonna have in the kingdom. Yo, I'm gonna have women all, you know, no, man. The kingdom of heaven is about way more than that. I'm gonna read the scripture here real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah 23. Let's read another one. And I want to bring something to the brother's attention, and you know, and like I said, let it be for who it's for. You know, let it be for who it's for. If this don't apply to you, if you got your mind on the high things, then so be it. But it's more to the kingdom other than just sex. This is Jeremiah 23 and verse 5. Listen to this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. You know what that means? Yahawah is going to be making justice in the earth. And part of our job is going to be to enforce that justice, that law, as it were. You're not only going to be just thinking about yourself in the kingdom of heaven. No, the whole planet is going to have to be under the rule of the Israelites. So that means you're going to have to go around and institute justice in the earth. For example, if there are nationalities or groups of people where they're unjustly treating their little ones and their wives, it's going to be part of your responsibility, our responsibility, to institute justice, whatever the justice is. Whatever the judgment is. You're going to be busy. Of course, the manual labor and the duties and all that stuff is going to be to the slaves, sure. But we have to put the righteous rule on the planet Earth. It's not just going to happen overnight. You're not going to be able to snap your fingers, or Yahawah is not just going to snap his fingers and all of a sudden the earth is just going to be remade. No, it's going to have to be, you're going to go through something. You know, we're going to watch as our kingdom is being built. You know, you're going to judge. We'll get into that in a few minutes, you know. But I want to read that again. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch from the house of David. The righteous branch is Yahawah. And a king, same king, shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. He's going to execute that judgment and justice in the earth. But there's also another scripture in Esdras where it says, those that are left behind, he shall order them. So Yahawah going to be giving orders and commands. You expect him to go and do it? No. Did he come down on the earth and teach people? No, he did it through his spirit, but he did it through his men. So that justice is going to have to be instituted in the earth. If you have places where, like I said, you had dictators that ruled over them, part of our job, the justice that's going to come into the earth, is we're going to institute that peace and that judgment and that justice in the earth. That's why the nations want the Israelites back in power. You saw that heathen woman that said the earth is going to be happy when the Israelites in power. Well, why? It's because we're not going to be tyrants. Sure, we're going to rule over the nations with a rod of iron. But then our goodness will be able to be seen. We will again, finally, be able to be the righteous men that we were created to be. And you can just think about that. Just ponder on it. That's going to be a beautiful thing when there's true judgment and true justice in the earth. No more unrighteousness, no more wickedness. You know, we're going to be the heroes of the whole world, going around the earth and instituting that justice. You know, like I said, if there were unrighteous, unruly women that try to rule over their husbands, that ain't going to be happening no more. If there were wicked men that just beat on their wives and afflicted people, that ain't going to be happening no more. We're going to straighten all that out. If they, you know, everything on the planet is going to be straightened out, finally. Right? Check this out. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah 1. Going further into that. Isaiah chapter 1. And we'll start at verse 21. Isaiah 1 verse 21. It says, how is the faithful city become an harlot? It was full of judgment. Righteousness lodged in it. But now murderers. Right now Israel is in a fallen state. But listen to what's going to happen. Thy silver has become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Every one loveth gifts and followeth after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. Therefore said the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries, and avenge me of mine enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tins. So here it's being said that Israel is in a fallen state, and all the rebellious, unrighteous Israelites are going to be put to death. Right? Then what's going to happen? And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, the 2/3, and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, after the 2/3 are killed, and after you're restored to your rightful place as rulers, right? And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness. So the Most High is going to make us back like we used to be in the old days. Our honor is going to be back. Our strength is going to be back. Our place in the earth is going to be back, but remade in righteousness, all new. You know, and we'll get into what else that's going to mean. But that's going to be our place in the earth. The 2/3 are going to be dead, but they're going to be reborn back into the kingdom, which brings us back to what we originally started with. Sure, it's our job to bring back the 2/3 in the earth, you know, but they won't be known as 2/3. You know, they're going to be righteous, but they're going to be reborn in righteousness because they didn't they wasn't the elect on this side. But what's our job? We're going to be the Most High said he's going to restore our counselors as at the beginning, and our judges as at the first. We're going to be like with our honor again, you know. But we're also going to have that capacity to never sin again, and we'll read that in Hebrews. We're never going to commit sins, you know. We'll be able to accomplish awesome feats, and we're going to be judging. We're going to be judging, and we'll read that as well. Okay, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6. But just think about how awesome that's going to be. You're going to be able to institute real justice in the planet Earth. These are the things to get excited about, you know. And we hadn't even began to talk about, and we won't get into it in this lesson, but you brothers know about it, the many mansions, the other planets we can go to, you know. Being able to do awesome feats, spiritual power. Brothers often talk about spiritual power, you know. Being able to manipulate the elements, to know what each element is for. We'll finally know what the answer to all our questions. These are things that are more pressing to look forward to than just sex. So you can do that when you go home. When you go home with your wives, you know. 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 18. And here it says, Salakia, 2nd Esdras 6 and verse 18. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. That's talking about when the curses are lifted. The affliction of Zion is fulfilled. We're out of captivity. No, as it says in Revelation, there should be no more curse, right? And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. That's now. That's right now. The books are being opened, and the people are seeing before the firmament. That's the internet. One of the internet scriptures. You know, the Bible is the books. The books inside of the Bible, they're open, and the people of the earth are seeing it all together, right? And also it says, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 and 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Here's the point. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitant shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So going all the way back to what we read in Isaiah and Jeremiah, we're going to be able to institute true judgment and justice in the earth. And there's other things that you're going to be thinking about. You're going to be thinking about that you made it out of here. You're going to have great stories to tell in the kingdom of heaven about this side. As I often say, our children that's going to be growing up, they're going to be like, when you show your children in the kingdom that the Edomites used to rule over us, that's going to pale in comparison. They're going to be like, no way, Dad. You mean to tell me these worthless dogs used to rule over us? Because they're not going to understand that. They're not going to understand that at one time Esau ruled over us. There's so many more great things coming in the kingdom of heaven other than just sex. You know, we're going to be upstanding citizens of the world. You know, we're going to be in power. We're going to rule everything. Everything's going to be our way, how we would have it be. You know, the weather's going to be great. It's just going to, it's going to be perfect. Perpetual peace and happiness forever. Then your mind ain't going to be on constantly just sex like you think about now. Because we're in this flesh right now, you know. But also, too, like I said, the men that are in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have great stories to tell. Lord willing, we have this memory of now. We'll be able to, you know, like I said, when our children don't believe that Esau used to rule over us, that the Edomites actually ruled over us, we're going to show them, if we can bring up that little screen or whatever we have, whatever technology we got, we'll show them how we was going through stuff, you know. And they're going to be like, I'm glad I don't have to grow up in that society. I'm glad I don't have to go through that, you know. And like I talked about, Yahawah is going to be, you know, right there with us. We'll be able to ask him any questions. We'll be able to talk with him, ask him, you know, and not even mention all the great men of the Lord from all the different times. You'll be able to have access to any of them. Talk to them. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Yahawah, Peter, the disciples, you know. Be able to converse with the angels. There's so many more great things in the kingdom of heaven that's coming, you know. And like it said in that scripture, then the men that are received shall see it who have not tasted death from their birth. You know, that's gonna be a great feat. Lord willing, you know, that we make it. To never have tasted death on this side to just go and be translated or just go and be saved and go right into the kingdom. That in itself is beautiful. Now I want to read Hebrews 8 and 8 because it mentioned here, it says, and the heart of the inhabitant shall be changed and turned into another meaning. Let's read that real quick. Hebrews 8. And I want to keep this lesson short if I can. Just want to make, you know, bring a few scriptures out. Hebrews 8 and verse 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel, 10 tribes, right? Or all 12 tribes. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel, 12 tribes. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. You see, so you're not going to be weighed down with the constant guilt of sin burdening you everywhere you go. That constant flesh, these chains of darkness, you'll be loose from that. That's another great thing to look for in the kingdom of heaven. Look forward to in the kingdom of heaven. That's a beautiful, great thing to look forward to in the kingdom of heaven. Not being weighed down by sin. Revelation 11 and verse 14. Let's read that. And it reads, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, or her anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. So that time is coming on the earth, like we talked about. The king is gonna exercise or execute judgment and justice in the earth. He's gonna rule over the whole world, right? Over the whole universe. Let's say it like that. And who's gonna rule right along with him? This is Revelation 5:9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made us into our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. So we have rulership, like I said, and that just backs up what I've been saying. You know, we got many things to see after in the kingdom. You got to look after your property. You got to, establish order, set up the laws on the planet, set up judgment and justice in the earth. And we're going to be able to just see and hear everything. All of our five senses are going to be increased. We're going to be supernatural, for lack of a better term. We're going to be immortal and yet still mortal at the same time. Not mortal. Let me say it like this. You're going to be spiritual, mighty men, but you can also inhabit flesh, eat, drink, have sex, of course, right? Enjoy the beautiful things on the planet Earth. For now, when we die, we go to the spirit world and we can't eat and drink and have sex and enjoy, a nice beverage. You can't do that now in the spirit world. But when the kingdom comes on the earth, you'll be able to enjoy everything in its fullness, the earth in its fullness and in its beauty. But it's going to take some time for it to get that way. We got to execute justice in the earth. So therefore, if the water's unclean and the skies are still black or things are still scorched from the nuclear missiles, we got to get all that cleaned up. Yahawah, he's going to show us how to have clean, pure water. What two things you can put together to cure cancer? What got rid of AIDS, or whatever. What gets rid of diseases, even though our bodies won't be susceptible to disease, but you're going to want that for the rest of the world. For the other nations, you're going to want them. You're going to want a perpetual society where disease doesn't exist. That's what you're going to want. Nobody's going to snap their fingers and make it happen. Yahawah, I would imagine, now don't quote me on that, but I would imagine Yahawah is going to give us the answers to all our questions and the answers to every, how is this disease born? How was it made? What can cure this? For all Yahawah might say, you need to cure the cancer. Just take, take one of those cinnamon sticks and put it in some water and shake it 7 times, and that'll be the cure. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying it like that. But there's so many beautiful things that's coming in the kingdom of heaven. And on this side, guys are letting their zeal get in control of them, and they're just talking about the carnal aspects of the kingdom more than they're talking about the spiritual sense. That's how I should have said it. All right, now let's get Matthew 19 real quick. Maybe be able to teleport and move at the speed of light, fly in a chariot, talk to the animals, levitate, whatever. I mean, whatever it is, whatever your heart and your mind can imagine, you will be able to do it in the kingdom of heaven, other than just bust nuts. I'm just saying it like that, but don't get mad at me, brothers. The older brothers out there, they see some of this stuff going on, man. You guys got to get yourselves in order, man. You're supposed to be becoming a highly elevated spiritual being, more than just thinking about flesh. All right, this is Matthew 19 and verse 24, and it says, And again I say unto you, is that what I wanted? I'm going to read that, yeah. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? But Yahawah beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with the Most High all things are possible. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahawah said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken houses and brethren, or everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So yeah, you're gonna get back to all the women that you didn't get on this side. But that's no reason that that should be the only thing on your minds, though. So many more things rest on your shoulders other than just humping, as it were, as it's been said. So many more things that think about in the kingdom of heaven. Ruling over your enemies, hearing the lamentations of their women, as it's been brought out, brothers and said. So many more things, just complete perfection, things that we can't accomplish now, we'll be able to accomplish and experience in the kingdom of heaven. Excuse me. This is the final scripture, Luke 22 and verse 24, and it reads, "And there was also strife among them, which of them should be accounted the greatest. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. But ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief as he that doth serve. For whether is greater, he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth? Is not he that sitteth at meat? But I am among you as he that serveth. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." That's another job. When Israel is once again a flourishing kingdom after the 2/3 are reborn and all our people start to multiply over the years, over the centuries, you're going to still be busy. You're going to be judging among our tribes. So many things going to be going on, man. So many different things, brothers. We're going to be growing fruit and vegetables. Not us. Our servants going to be doing it, our slaves. Esau and the other nations, of course. But there are many more things, 144,000. You're going to be really busy. The elect are going to be really busy, getting our kingdom in order. Sure, we're going to be relaxing. Sure, we're going to be enjoying, but we're also going to be very busy people. We're going to be royalty. And I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to just bring out. I didn't want to bring out a long video. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And, the spirit had to come out how it came out. I really had envisioned it coming out a different way. But hey, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? But all the great things that you can think about in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be able to, we'll be able to do them, things that we hadn't thought of. Like I said, you're going to have full mental capacity. But that thing about, putting justice in the earth, that's huge. The animals are going to be at peace, which is beautiful, because a lot of brothers are really vexed by the state and the condition of the earth. That's the main thing, man. The condition of the earth. And you're going to be worrying about that more than you're thinking about how many women you can sleep with. Because everything will be for our sakes anyway. Everything is for us. So look forward to the kingdom of heaven. But the full, everything that it compasses. And we don't even know everything that it compasses yet. So, let me not say that. Because there are many things that we have not known. But you have to imagine that Yahawah is going to be very close to his elect. You're going to be able to sit with him and have dinner with him and talk and, just, I don't know, be able to answer all your questions. And you'll be able, among the brothers and the elders and apostles and all the greatest Israelites from all time in history. I would imagine we're going to have concerts and shows and just everything, Everything that you don't have a chance to do now, you're going to be able to do in the kingdom of heaven, So that's going to do it. That's the lesson. And we'll come back soon. Tomorrow I'm planning on doing another lesson, Lord willing, because I'm still going to be traveling. So I'm going to have to do another webcam lesson. I'm planning something, something now, but we'll see what the Most High says, All right. So you brothers out there, stay up, and watch out for social media. That's another thing, because it's still, a lot of brothers still on social media. Watch out, man. Social media is dangerous, It's more dangerous almost than it is helpful, in my opinion. All right. All praise to the Most High, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Enough respect to you brothers out there teaching the truth all over the earth. Come back soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right. Shalom.